Let's listen to the next verse, verse 114.
أفغير الله أبتغي حكما وهو الذي أنزل إليكم الكتاب مفصلا والذين آتيناهم الكتاب يعلمون أنه منزل من ربك بالحق فلا تكونن من الممترين.
So, should I seek someone other than Allah as judge, while it is He who has sent down to you the book in details? Those we have given the book know that it is revealed from your Lord with the truth. So, never be one of those who are in suspicion.
وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ صِدْقًا وَعَدْلًا لَا مُبَدِّلَ لِكَلِمَاتِهِ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ.
The word of your Lord is perfect in truth and justice. None is there to change His words, and He is all-hearing, all-knowing.
وَإِن تُطِعْ أَكْثَرَ مَن فِي الْأَرْضِ يُضِلُّوكَ عَن سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ إِن يَتَّبِعُونَ إِلَّا الظَّنَّ وَإِنْ هُمْ إِلَّا يَخْرُصُونَ.
If you obey the majority of those on earth, they will make you lose the way of Allah. They follow nothing but whims, and they do nothing but make conjectures.
إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ مَن يَضِلُّ عَن سَبِيلِهِ وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ.
Surely, your Lord is best aware of those who go astray from His way, and He is best aware of those who are on the right path.
فَكُلُوا مِن
So in verse number 114 to 117, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now talking as the Prophet Muhammad to say that should I seek anyone other than Allah to be judge, while it is He who has sent down to you the book, which is Quran, in detail. And we have given the book now that is revealed from your Lord with the truth. So for us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given this book and the Prophet. So for us, we should ask Allah, not anybody else. And the word of your Lord are perfect. وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةِ رَبِّكَ صِدْقًا وَعَدْلًا. The truthful and the just. This is what the word of Allah is. لَا مُبَدِّلَ كَلِمَاتِ. The word of God do not change. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. And He is all hearing and all knowing. وَإِن تُطِيعْ أَكْثَرَ مِن فِي الْأَرْضِ يُضِلُّوكَ عَن سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. So majority of people are always being on the misguidance, and then if you obey the majority of people on the earth because what they are doing and you do what they do in the majority, as we see in America what people do, إِن يَتَّبِعُونَ إِلَّا الظَّنَّ. They are just following their assumption. Jesus never had anything to do with the Christmas or the celebration of the Christmas. إِلَّا الظَّنَّ وَإِنْ هُمْ إِلَّا يَخْرُصُونَ. And this is nothing but they are making conjunctures. So they have they invented these holidays for the commercial or for whatever reason to be separate or distinct from the other religion, and this is what they associate with their faith. If today Jesus has come back to the life or come down to the earth, He's up in the fourth heaven as we know and believe, He will not recognize cross as a symbol because He never wore a cross or never commanded a cross. He never said the 24th December was the birthday of His, because it was not. There was no date available. They found it because the sun S-U-N, God of the Greco-Roman God, this is what was born on the darkest night, which is the shortest night, and the biggest day is considered the longest night and the shortest day. And this is what they believe is the birth of the Jesus and the son of the sun God, S-U-N God, not the Allah, na'uzubillah. And this is how they came up with this, because it was a Roman tradition, and the Christians who were at that time were Muslims, believer, they did not have any way out. So they were forced to be celebrative of those holidays because they were living in a non-Islamic culture. And this thing became a tradition for them, and the pagans used to sacrifice animal and celebrate and party on that night, and that tradition has now turned into Christmas party and Christmas Eve and Christmas celebration. But if you see any devout Christian on this day, what they do, they go to church and they do the prayers. And there is a difference between Orthodox and Catholic. Catholics celebrate 24th, and Greek and Roman Greek Orthodox or Russian Orthodox, they celebrate first week of January as the Christmas. Now these Catholics are majority, so whole world celebrated. This is something we should know, that they do not have a common day of celebration. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna rabbaka huwa alimu man yadillu an sabili. Indeed, Allah knows and aware of that who has been gone astray from the path. Wa huwa alimu bil muhtadin. And He is also aware of who is the believing and on the righteous path. There are three paths, as I mentioned in Surah Fatiha. The Sirat al-Lazina anamta alayhim, the path of those upon whom Allah has bestowed His mercy and His reward. An'am, and غير المغضوب ولا الضالين, the one who have the ghadab, the wrath and anger and punishment of Allah, are those who knew it. Ghadab is on those who have the knowledge and they knowingly disobey Allah. And there are dalin, the one who are misguided, means they did not have the guidance and they just created their own innovations. As we see in Christianity, they made three gods, which is not the part of Jesus preaching anywhere in entire Bible. And those who Hindu deities, if you read the Vedas, there is no multiple gods or partners of the god or the husband or wife of the god. These are the Ramayana, which are the stories telling, which has been fabricated and made up. And similarly, Buddha himself was a human. He was born, he was a prince of India, Siddhartha, and he went to find some mystic power and meditated, and people start believing him as a god. And we know that Buddha died. God does not die. God does not get born. That God does not eat. God does not drink. God does not grow to be adult or have a husband or wife or son or daughter. Allah is all alone by Himself. This is the belief of Muslim. La ilaha illahu. None is worthy of worship except Him. So now, when next ayahs are coming about the slaughtering and eating of the Muslims, and Allah is commanding them to eat anything of the animal which are allowed. First of all, there is a halal animal as a haram animal. In other words, halal animal are those animals which are allowed for us to eat, and this is the chapter An'am as the livestock, and this is what is like goats, the cows and buffaloes, camel, horse. These animals are halal and they are allowed to eat. And why they are, and the Jewish people who used to taunt Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's believer, they would say that you eat the other animals also, because they would only eat the split hoof animal with only certain part of their body, like the fat from the back of their hump, not anywhere else. So they were only allowed to eat certain portion, which Surah Al-Imran, when we will come to discuss about it, inshallah we'll mention it, that Harama Yaqub alayhi salam forbade upon himself, and it was a punishment on the Jewish people after that they were only restricted to eat certain portion of a certain animal, and they were not allowed to eat the split hoof animal and the one who does the pasturing or grazing. So when Prophet Muhammad came in, and they would object on it. Now there's another thing among the Muslim now. Those Muslims who sacrifice, like we say, we sacrifice in the name of Allah, and the reward of the slaughter or the sacrifice should be given to such and such our deceased and loved ones. So some Muslims says that is shirk. Actually, it's not a shirk, because we do not invoke their name. We said Allah. We do Bismillah, Allahu Akbar when we slaughter, and we say this is for that person. In other words, we are sacrificing this to reward be given to that such and such person. And for the proof of that is Prophet ﷺ, when he would slaughter, he would say one for me and my family and one for my ummah. He would slaughter two animals, and then Allah subhanahu, he would invoke Allah, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. So that is not the one which is slaughtered on the name of idols. This is something very important. Often people say, we are not going to eat any food served or animal slaughtered for the or remembrance or sacrifice of any of the awliya Allah or the devotees or the saints, and they think that is shirk. Actually, there is no shirk in it, because that person's name is not invoked. Like the pagan Arab used to say, this slaughter is for Lat and Uzza and Hubal, and that would be shirk, because that is the name invoked on that. Any Christian who invoke the name of Jesus when they slaughter, we are not supposed to eat. Any Muslim who invoke the name of Prophet Muhammad and say, this is Prophet Muhammad, Bismillah, Bi-Ismi Muhammad, that is the shirk. We say Bismillah, by the name of Allah. And then we say the reward of this sacrifice should go to such person. That is perfectly halal, and this is where the difference in the shirk. So next thing is coming. Listen to these verses. They are very important to comprehend.
فكلوا مما ذكر اسم الله عليه إن كنتم بآياته مؤمنين.
So, eat the flesh of that animal upon which the name of Allah has been invoked when slaughtering, if you do believe in his verses.
وما لكم ألا تأكلوا مما ذكر اسم الله عليه وقد فصل لكم ما حرم عليكم إلا ما اضطررتم إليه وإن كثيرا ليضلون بأهوائهم بغير علم إن ربك هو أعلم بالمعتدين.
What should cause you to avoid eating of that upon which the name of Allah has been invoked, while he has spelled out to you all that he has made unlawful for you, except that to which you are compelled by extreme necessity? Surely, there are many who misguide people on the basis of their desires without having knowledge. Surely, your Lord is the best knower of those who cross the limits.
وَذَرُوا ظَاهِرَ الْإِثْمِ وَبَاطِنَهُ إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَكْسِبُونَ الْإِثْمَ سَيُجْزَوْنَ بِمَا كَانُوا يَقْتَرِفُونَ.
Leave outward sin and inward sin. Surely, those who commit sin shall be punished for what they used to commit.
وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا مِمَّا لَمْ يُذْكَرِ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ وَإِنَّهُ لَفِسْقٌ وَإِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ لَيُوحُونَ إِلَىٰ أَوْلِيَائِهِمْ لِيُجَادِلُوكُمْ وَإِنْ أَطَعْتُمُوهُمْ إِنَّكُمْ لَمُشْرِكُونَ.
Do not eat that meat over which the name of Allah has not been pronounced. This is surely a sin. The Satans inspire their friends to dispute with you. If you were to obey them, you would be mushriks.
So this last verse is very important to understand again. Something very technical to understand, that when we slaughter animal, Muslims, we should offer water 3 times and food 3 times to the slaughtering animal. And with that animal, we should lay that down in the facing through the Kaaba or the Qibla. And then the person who is slaughtering, the one who is holding the knife, and it should be the sharpest and the cleanest object, should not be rough enough so that it will not be painful for the animal. It should slaughter from this end to this end to cut the both jugular veins and the throat so that the blood would be coming out. Another important thing of that is the name of Allah to be pronounced at the time of putting the knife, at the time when the person is cutting, he should hold or she should hold the knife and say Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. It is not that somebody else running and you say Bismillah Allahu Akbar. The person who is slaughtering should say, you can say it, but unless the person who is slaughtering said it, it is not going to be halal. It's not going to be zabiha. So there is a halal animal, there's a haram animal. It means pig is haram. You cannot eat it no matter what. And the zabiha is the one which is Islamically slaughtered animal in which you say Bismillah. When you say Bismillah Allahu Akbar, that is zabiha. When you invoke the name of other, like a person or deity or idol, and not even having a name, is also not appropriate according to the Hanafi school. You have to invoke the name of Allah. Why? Because life is precious, every animal life is precious, and we are only allowed in the name of Allah to cut and kill only those what we are going to need, not an extraordinary. This is why hunting games is not preferred and liked in Islam, because they have their lives. Yes, but you can eat them. Allah is allowed to eat those animals, which will be coming in the future verses we will be listening. So this is something very technical to understand. So which I said earlier, I'm repeating again. If we say this animal I'm slaughtering and the reward should go to Ghaus Pak or Prophet Muhammad, or for my father, for my forefathers, for my mothers, for my loved ones, or whoever, reward can be given to them for this sacrifice. Like you give money and say, my Lord, give this reward to the person, my loved ones. I give sadaqah, charity, and I give zakah, or it's not zakat you can give, but for your charity and sadaqah, like you donate money to have somebody's mosque be built, and the reward go to my mom and my dad and my loved ones, or my parents, or my relatives, or Prophet Muhammad, or my sheikh, whoever has taught me or whatnot. So you can send reward to them, but you will get equal reward. Your reward will not be reduced. But then you should say the reward should go to them, not this is in their name, because name of Allah is the one. It is kind of a linguistic thing. People say this animal is for such and such person, but it is not intended. This animal is slaughtered in the name of Allah. When you slaughter and saying Allah, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, we don't say Bismillah Rahman Rahim. That is also forbidden, because Allah is merciful, and you do not say Allah is merciful and take a life away. So this is something technical, the scholars explain, we should understand. So when we slaughter, it sometimes happen the person who is slaughtering is scared of slaughtering, because they are not comfortable using a knife to cut some animal's throat. So what they do is they partially hold the thing, but then the butcher takes the hand and then he started cutting. When butcher is cutting, he must say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. If somebody else is helping a child or a woman to help the slaughter animal, should say that. If there are 3 people and one did not say, that's slaughter become invalid. Everybody should say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. That would make the slaughter valid. This is scholarly interpretation. I will stop at this time here, and we are about time to finish. And we are stopping today at the verse number 122. And inshallah, we will begin next Sunday with the same place. And inshallah, if there's anything, you have any question, you can ask me. If I did anything wrong, may Allah forgive me. If I said anything right, may Allah accept from all of us. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Any comment, any suggestion? This week we have, it's been 1 year. Our brother Adil Ibrahim passed away, and we were in Shabana's home. We did the dua for him for his first year anniversary, or what we call the Urs or Barsi. Baras in Urdu means year, means first year, his passing away. Urs comes from word Urusa. Urusa is the one which is being the word 3 question are asked in the grave by angel. Man Rabbuka, who is your Lord? Ma Dinuka, what is your faith? Ma kunta taqul fil haqqi hadha rajul, what you used to say about this man. Prophet Muhammad comes to the grave, and then when the person answered right, and the angel tell them, sleep like a bride on the wedding night, as she has got her home, her family. So Urusa comes from that word Urs. Urs means from the bride. A soul is female or feminine, so that is why it is used as Urs. With this, I will stop and inshallah make dua, unless somebody has any question, any comment, any suggestion, any correction. No. Okay. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Oh Allah, whatever we heard and we said and we joined ourselves in this gathering, accept from us. If any mistakes is made, forgive us and accept our efforts, and keep us in the life in Islam, and give us death in Iman, and keep us in the straight path, and make us obedient to you and your prophets' teaching, and give us the rizq halal, and give us the ability to live steadfast in our faith. With this tidal wave of the shirk and kufr coming, keep us and our children be steadfast and not to follow the idol worshipping. And with this, inshallah, we'll stop. Ameen bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Any comment, any suggestion? Otherwise, we are leaving.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Shahid.
Thank you, Najmaji. Okay, inshallah, we'll end the session. We'll meet next Sunday. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.